Joshua Rubin, and I am the Vice President of Business Development at JAVID LLC. On behalf of the National Shelter Committee of Index, the Maquiladora Association in Mexico, I would like to take the time and explain to you how you could pick the best shelter for your operation. All shelters provide you relatively the same services: human resources, accounting, customs, and environmental health and safety, though you can find differences in the way they provide those same services. For example, some shelters may own land and buildings and be able to build a specific facility to your needs. Some others have intricate systems that will allow you to have full control of your operation from a distance. You will find that there's shelters that are better suited for bigger operations of 1,000 people or above, as well as shelters that are tailored for the smaller size companies of 500 and below. I guarantee you, with the shelters that are part of the shelter committee, any one of us will be able to help you achieve your goal. However, some things to consider when talking to your shelter provider. First thing, what shelter structure will you be placed under? Different shelters can work different structured methods. Each will have its own benefits. For example, the 3 typical ways a shelter may present its services to you are the following. The first one being the full shelter model. This would be having your operation under a shelter 100%. That means that the shelter will be the legal entity, will pay all your Mexican operating expenses, and will have the majority of the risk. This is the safest and quickest way for you to open up an operation in Mexico. Another method is for you to own your fully owned subsidiary here in Mexico. Luckily for you, the shelter operators are able to provide you the same services that we offer to a full shelter model to your own company that is 100% owned by your own operation. The main difference here is that your company will be the legal entity and hold the majority of the risk. Other than that, the shelter can provide you the same services that we provide to the full shelter model. Finally, another method would be the startup. Being that there are certain complexities to opening up a Mexican entity or a maquiladora in Mexico, some companies choose to start up in a full shelter model with the path to open up independently. For this, the shelter will open the operation quickly and work based on the timeline the company has to become fully independent. Another thing to consider when talking to your shelter provider is how cost effective is it to be under a shelter. A shelter is going to save you money almost guaranteed every time, but what you want to understand are the details of how. One large way is that the shelter provider provides economies of scale, which allows us to provide you the 4 key areas of compliance with all our staff at a reduced cost, because that cost is spread amongst all our clients. More details of this are to come in following Index Shelter Committee videos. Finally, something to consider when you're talking to your shelter provider is what services are offered under the shelter. A shelter will relatively offer you the same services as mentioned above. These typically fall under the administrative areas of a manufacturing operation. Like I said, human resources, accounting, customs, and environmental health and safety, as well as the legal compliance in each of these areas. Additionally, shelter providers will help you with site selection, cost analysis, cost reduction, special projects, and more. Each shelter has its strong points in the services that make them unique compared to others. Overall, a shelter is the best and safest way to open up an operation in Mexico. Your shelter provider should be very important to you as we form partnerships with you and ensure your success here in Mexico. Please reach out to us here at the Shelter Committee of any questions that you might have and let us know how we can help you. Thank you.